You're listening to 3Ps in the West, Vision West ND's podcast on people, partnerships, and progress. I'm April, a representative of Vision West ND, an organization dedicated to strengthening communities, fostering economic sustainability, and building a prosperous quality of life across Western North Dakota. This is a space where listeners can hear directly from the people shaping our region, learn about the partnerships powering local projects, and see the progress that follows. On today's episode, we are joined by Amanda, the University and Student Development Coordinator on Bank of North Dakota's Education, Outreach, and Financial Literacy team. Amanda has been with Bank of North Dakota for 9 years, where she coordinates College Application Month, leads FAFSA events across the state, and develops financial literacy curriculum, workshops, and presentations for students and communities. Her work ensures that North Dakota students and families have the knowledge and resources they need to plan for and succeed in their educational journey. Now, let's join the conversation with Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. Thank you for
Hello.
joining the 3Ps in the West, People, Partnerships, and Progress. How are you today?
I am great. I finally got to drive 80 on the interstate.
That's big.
It was wonderful.
Yep, that's a new thing in North Dakota. Can you give us a little bit of a description of you and who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I am Amanda Woidyla. I work at the Bank of North Dakota on the Education, Outreach, and Financial Literacy team. I've been there for about 9 years, and typically in my role, I do college access work. So helping students apply for college, applying for scholarships, getting their FAFSA done, and all of the education that goes with that. But since April of 2024, we've started doing financial literacy work as well. So my typical partners are going to be the high schools and the colleges. I go into classrooms and I do workshops and presentations, just making sure young people are getting that knowledge on finances early before they're out on their own managing their own finances.
Sure. That's awesome. Well, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. I'm Ashley Howell, Strategic Growth Coordinator with Vision West ND. Today, we will be asking a series of questions. So, oh boy, how we can edit this. Okay, so today's episode is called Money Matters for New Neighbors. Amanda, the Bank of North Dakota has served residents for more than a century. How does that community mission shape the help you give people who are brand new to our state?
So the Bank of North Dakota is very centered on mission. And really, the department that I work in, we are very mission driven in general. Our goal with our department is to help North Dakotans just be better and be more confident at everything they do. And finances really is a huge part of that, especially folks who are new to North Dakota, whether they're
Absolutely.
coming from out of state,
Mhm.
getting integrated in our North Dakota culture with our North Dakota values. So really the bank is there to help North Dakotans in general, whether you've been here for 100 years, your family's lived here forever, or you've been here a month and you're trying to, get into, your new job here, your new lifestyle. So
Mhm.
that's really, really what we're here for.
Absolutely. I feel like I could learn some things from Smart with My Money. All right. So for someone who just unloaded the moving truck, what are the top 3 financial to-dos they should handle right away?
So, one of the first things definitely is change all of your addresses. So, of course, first it's going to be on things like your bank accounts, but you shouldn't forget the smaller things too. So going back to the big things, I guess, your bank accounts, any lenders that you owe money to, your student loans, your vehicle, any personal loans, stuff like that. That's going to be the big stuff that's going to have a potentially negative impact if you kind of forget
Right.
that kind of stuff in the hustle and bustle. But don't forget the small things too, like, any subscriptions that you have, those stores that you shop in online. This is one thing that I forgot when my card got compromised earlier this year, my pet's microchip.
Oh,
So that's another thing. If you
Yep.
have pets and subscriptions that go along with that, don't forget those kinds of things too. But also government agencies, the USPS, they will actually um, forward your mail from your old address to the new one for up to a year. So don't forget to do that. Don't take too long to, get your license transferred over.
Right.
Even taxes with the IRS, if it's around that time, don't forget to change your address there too. So that's really going to be the big one.
Yeah.
Evaluate if your financial institutions are still right for you, your insurance, that kind of stuff. Because if you're moving from out of state, let's pick on Florida for a second. Let's say you're moving to North Dakota from Florida. Your insurance coverage might have things like hurricane protection, it might have flood protection. Well, I mean, with the exception of this summer, apparently we had some Cat 3 hurricane waves
Right.
this summer. But that's the exception, not the rule.
Yep.
And flood protection just depends where you live. So don't forget some of those things
Sure.
as well.
Super important. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes I don't think we remember those things.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Let's see here. Choosing the right financial home. So newcomers see banks, credit card unions, and online options. What should they compare, and how can they switch smoothly if their first choice isn't a fit?
So the first thing to ask is, does my current financial institution, and we say financial institution because it encompasses both banks, credit unions, and those online banks, which are similar to your traditional bank. They just have slightly different services. But evaluate if what you currently have fits what you need now. So again, let's say you're moving from out of state or even somewhere else in North Dakota. Well, your bank or credit union might have been local to that area, to that region. And if you want the kind of banking experience where you can go into a physical location, to be able to make deposits, cash,
Mhm.
checks, talk to a financial professional about your finances, your financial goals, and your new location here in Western North Dakota, you don't have that,
Yep.
you might want to switch financial institutions. So that's one of the first things to really evaluate. Does what I have fit what I want now? And if you find that you do need to switch financial institutions, there's typically three options. So a bank, a credit union, and an online bank. So the difference between banks and credit unions is typically how they are operated. So banks are for profit, and they are beholden to their shareholders, basically, people who hold stock in that institution. So banks are typically going to have more robust services, not that credit unions aren't, but it just depends on the credit union in particular. So that's going to be your banking options. Online banks, very similar, for profit. Profits go to the shareholders, that kind of thing. The difference, though, with the online banks is that you're going to have a little bit less customer service. You're not going
Sure.
to have that in-person option. So it's kind of taking out like the people part
Yep.
of the bank. Now, your credit unions, those are going to also have very similar financial services to banks, like those retail options, credit checking, and that's fine. Some people only need that. But those credit unions, they are owned by their members. So when you get an account with a credit union, you are a member. And then typically they're not for profit, but if they do make a profit, then those profits come back to their members, sometimes in the form of dividends or other benefits. So it just kind of depends. And then, just taking a look at the different credit unions and the services that you as the customer want.
Sure.
So,
Well, thanks for explaining all of those.
Mhm.
That's very important. I didn't know all of that. So
Yeah.
thank you for explaining that. While we are talking about the Smart with My Money, so we're gonna dive in through the site.
Yes.
We're gonna dive into talking about the site, and I just want to make sure that we put out there the URL for Smart with My Money is SmartWithMyMoney.nd.gov. So if anybody wants to visit that site, they can, and they can sign up for an account. Is that correct?
Yep, they can
Okay.
sign up for an account. It's 100% free. All you need is your name and an email address. And again, it's completely free to sign up. So you log in, and the reason we have you put in an email address is because of the robust amount of services
Sure.
that are on there. And then as you progress through the website, it keeps your progress going
That's
on there,
good.
which is
I like that.
super.
Yep.
So
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
walk us through the site. Which tools or courses are most useful for someone settling in, and how does the money personality assessment personalize their path?
Yeah. So when someone logs into Smart with My Money for the first time, they'll be prompted to do two things. The first is a financial assessment, and that's just kind of taking a pulse about where you are with your finances. It only takes a couple minutes, but it asks you things about how often have you been stressed about your finances? How often have you avoided seeking health care or, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to your finances, just taking a little pulse on that. And then it gives you a financial stress score. So, and with that, you take it every 6 to 8 weeks. So you can kind of see over time using the platform how your stress goes up and down, or I suppose stays the same, right? The second thing is going to be the money personality assessment. And this is really the thing that sets Smart with My Money apart from any other financial literacy platform. So, again, this takes about 5 or so minutes to go through, and it just asks you questions about your attitudes and behaviors with money. And then when you're finished, there are, I believe, 5 different categories with 2 or 3 different personality types within them. So
Wow.
it's going to be like emotions type, and there's a bonus type, focus type. So you can kind of see how your background with money, how you earn, spend, and save is reflected in those money personalities, so that you can take a look at it and be like, oh, well, I am so change seeking is one of my is my bonus type. So I'm like, oh, that's why I like to switch hobbies so much.
Sure.
Or that's why I like to, when I go on vacation, just go all in because I really love to value that experience and
Yep.
just take it all in. Where another personality type might prefer to save when they're on vacation or not take advantage of the experience because of the expense or something like that. So it really helps you realize those things that you've never quite had language for in with how you spend, and all of that. So it's really great. It's really useful. So you can make those traits that you have work for you instead of against you.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Mhm.
All
So
right.
it's I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
I
No,
didn't
that's
address the
okay.
tools.
No, that's okay. I almost jumped.
Oh, no, that's totally fine. So those are the first 2 things that you'll do when you log in. But after you do that, you can navigate through the website. So the
Okay.
thing that I love about it, one of the many things I love about it, I say the thing like
Yep.
10 times when I'm giving presentations or workshops. But when you go through the site, you'll go up onto, I forget exactly what it's called, but you'll hover over it and then you'll see the different topics. So there's over 130
Wow.
different financial topics.
That's a lot.
Everything from like becoming banked, so picking the type of financial institution you want to go to pet insurance, to paying for college, I mean, you name it, there's a topic for you. And then within all of those topics, there are a variety of different ways to get that content delivered to you.
Wow.
So there's articles, there's infographics, there's tools. So if you want to like put your information into the tool to see what your result is, you can do that. There's videos, there's
Wow.
webinars. So if you like more like long form content,
Mhm.
so if you like that long form
I do.
podcast, yeah, you could listen to a webinar. And then there's also courses which take all of those different types of content and put them into one nice little package on a certain topic
Wow.
for you. So I really love the courses and the tools, but then there's also another nice little feature. We talked about that financial stress score that you get.
Yep.
There's also mindfulness tools as well. So if someone was experiencing high levels of financial stress, you could get that knowledge to help tackle that stress, but also some of those wellness tools as well.
Wow.
Specifically, money meditations, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Mhm.
You're lying there in your yoga class, and there's a soft, soothing voice talking to you while they're like guiding you through breathing and all of that. There's that. And then there's money journaling.
Wow.
So some people might like one and not the other. I love meditation. I hate journaling. Some people might not like it at all.
Opposite.
Yeah. You'd
I
rather
like to
journal.
journal. Yep.
Okay.
I
Yes.
would.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that there's so many different tools. And going back to the courses part, you said those are also free, right?
Yep.
So
As long as you
everything.
sign up for the account.
Okay.
Mhm.
I love that. So there's no cost for the site. There's no cost for the courses, not the meditation, not the journaling,
No,
nothing.
it is 100% free
Yep.
for North Dakota residents, whether, you are living here or let's say you're an out-of-state student attending to one of our North Dakota colleges or universities. And the reason that it's free is because it is sponsored by the state of North Dakota, not only by Bank of North Dakota. We are one of 12 state agencies who sponsor the website and work towards getting North Dakotans to become the most financially literate people in the whole nation.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you guys. All right. So this next question, future focus. If you could launch one new feature or partnership tomorrow to help newcomers even more, what would it be and why?
I think probably a partnership with the chambers or the economic development centers in our cities. That would probably be one of the most logical to welcome new folks in. Their convention and visitors bureau would probably be really good too, just to get the word out and get people to start not only learning about Smart with My Money, but using the platform as well so that they can learn more about their finances and be empowered to make better financial decisions in their personal life.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that. All right. So what single step can listeners take this week to strengthen their finances?
I would say tracking your finances. I find that a lot of people haven't even budgeted. And the first step in budgeting is tracking your finances, figuring out where your money is actually going. I think a lot of people would be surprised once they actually track their expenses and put it into categories, the amount of money that they're spending on, certain categories. So yes, we always spend a lot of money on food, but maybe parse out your food expenses between grocery shopping and cooking at home and dining out. And that includes your coffee stops, your stops for your energy drinks at the gas station, all of that, just to figure out, because you can't put a budget together and designate a certain amount of money into a category unless you know what you're already spending in it.
Absolutely.
So I would say that would be the first thing, is to track your expenses, or, not even during the week, just look back over the last month of your purchases and parse it out, figure out where you have been spending your money.
And are there budgeting tools on the Smart with My Money?
There are.
Okay.
The budgeting tool on SmartWithMyMoney.nd.gov is one of my favorite tools, actually, and it's really robust. So it doesn't just give you oh, this is how much you're spending on groceries, this is how much you're spending on this, this, and this. It breaks it down. When it comes even to home stuff, yes, you put your mortgage in there, but then you can put your utilities, your HOA fees if you have one, all the way down. And then if there's a category that's not automatically in there, you can add it as well. And same thing with saving. Let's say, you're saving for something. Maybe it's that down payment on a house. Maybe it's to go on a vacation you've always wanted to go somewhere. Or maybe if it's even something, I don't know, small, pick whatever small thing you want to spend money on. You can add that savings goal in there. And then you can be okay, I want to save $1,200 by this time next year. It'll tell you exactly how much to save every month to hit that goal for whatever you're saving for.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I asked this yet, but do you guys have an app yet? Or are you in the works?
So Smart with My Money is mobile optimized.
Okay.
Yep. So you just pop it in your browser, SmartWithMyMoney.nd.gov, and it looks the same as it would be on your PC or your tablet or whatever.
Okay, perfect. So it's super easy to just pick up on your phone and use throughout the day. I love that. And it saves your progress. I love that even more. Is there anything else? I know we talked about all these, we have gotten through all these questions with you, but is there anything else that you want to add about Smart with My Money?
Yeah. So the biggest thing that we have coming up for Smart with My Money is our October Money Personality Challenge. So this is going to be a social media challenge in the month of October, where users are encouraged to get an account if they don't have one already, take their money personality assessment if they haven't already, and then the next step is to review their money personalities, find something that was maybe an aha or something surprising to them, and then post about it on social media. Bank of North Dakota is mostly on Facebook,
Okay.
as opposed to some of the other channels, but Facebook is going to be the place that you're going to see all of these posts. So post a little something something about your money personality results. So it can just be a written post, it can be a video. So something, an example would be, I just took my money personality assessment and found out that my focus type was present focused. I was really surprised because, I have a fully funded emergency fund, da 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 da. But it turns out that I focus on today and leave the future open ended, or, something
Yeah.
like that. Hashtag money personality
Okay.
challenge. And I challenge Ashley Howell to do it next.
Yep, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Well, I might have to take part in that. That's
Absolutely.
awesome. So just to close this out, I would just like to say that I think that Western North Dakota thrives when we work together. How do you feel about that?
I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And not only Western North Dakota,
The
I
whole
think
state.
North Dakota in general.
Absolutely.
And whenever I go out of state, that is one thing that I always brag about. I call it our
Mhm.
unfair advantage, because that's one thing we do really well.
Yep,
We're a
I
small
agree.
state and we work well together.
Yep. We thrive together, working with our urban and rural communities. We all come together.
We do.
So, all right, Amanda, is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
I think we
we're
nailed
good?
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.